2K with WWE games. With it being WrestleMania week and with all the nostalgia, I would just love to hear like your thoughts and your like remembrance of your ladder match with Razor Ramon and Mania 10, since it is in WWE 2K24.
Yeah, well, again, that goes back to, again, the first. And that's something that I was talking about with, Mello and Trick. I was so fortunate to have so many of those here in the WWE. And again, when they're at their age, again, those guys, then they're really over the hill at 27. But again, but to understand how important that is, and and now all these years later, again, for it still to be highlighted as that. And again, in the games, I just came a little while ago from, signing action figures and again, and still signing that photo of me diving off the ladder. And so it really is. You have to understand, when I got into this at 19 years old, my dad asking me, my goodness, what if you don't have something to fall back on? What are you going to do? You get hurt, you get injured. What is going to happen with the rest of your life? And it's 40 years later, and I'm getting the opportunity to sit here in front of all of you. And Mello and Trick and so many of the men and women on our roster at Stand and Deliver are going to have the opportunity to do that, to understand, again, at that tryout, letting those young athletes know it can literally change your life. And I don't know, again, I can't help, but I know I get like that every time we do these things, but that's where I'm at now at this place in my life. And I can see the road that they're going down. And I just want them to make the most of it, to enjoy it, to embrace it, because, I'm hoping that each and every one of them have the opportunity to be 58 and sitting here in front of, your children. You know what I mean? Doing interviews and being able to talk about being in a 2K game. So again, it really does. It's never lost its meaning to me. And again, as you guys continue to come out with that, it keeps reminding me of it, and it's a beautiful and glorious thing.
Two more guys.
Shawn, Matt Tucker, Fight Hub TV. Kind of piggybacking off of that last question, how satisfying is it personally to go from your Wild DX days with Hunter to running things with Hunter and absolutely crushing it?
Well, it's that's again very cool. I don't. It's one of those things you really sit there and scratch your head about, and you sit there. My time is always in the morning as I'm kind of reflecting on this unbelievable journey. But look, I'll say this: I'm less surprised by him. I mean, he's always had a great mind, always been level-headed and smart, and really loved and cared about this industry. And I'll tell you what, I think for all of us, it's just put us all in a place to where we can just focus, do our jobs, and do it with joy in our heart. The way that we went out there and did it in the ring, it was the greatest place to be for us. Anytime, didn't matter what was going on in the rest of your life, once you walked down that aisle and stepped into, between those ropes, everything was okay. Everything was right in the world. And now we're getting to do that 24/7, and we're getting to do it for a number of other young men and women that have walked at least close to the same roads that we have, and we understand what it means to be able to be a part of weekends like this, and us wanting it to be everything that they hoped it would be. And it's important to us to deliver on that. And it's also an awesome responsibility. It's something that we want to do well. It's something that we want to make sure we don't screw up. It's very important to us. This is still the same company that has given both of us all the wonderful things we have in our life. This is to be stewarded in a very positive way, and we take that role very seriously. But yeah, to look at the same two guys that used to be pulling their pants down on television and the entire world, I will just say that it's just been an amazing turn of events, shall we say?
Thank you, Shawn.
Now, guys, we'll come to your questions. Thanks, Isa.
Hi, Isa with Lucha Libre Online. I just wanted to get your thoughts on Lyra's reign as NXT Women's Champion, from beating Becky Lynch for that championship to now defending against
Yep. Well, again, as I've said on many occasions, put our ladies up against anybody in the world. And I know that I'm biased, but I'm also, fact is a fact. We've got more depth in our women's locker room than any company in the world, and I mean that from the main roster as well. I'll put my ladies up against anybody, any day of the week, and Lyra's at the head of that pack. I will say that Lyra was somebody that I looked at from day one when I saw her in the UK. I thought she was special then, and she's still special now. She's done a great job for us. I'm happy that she's been able to have this moment and this run. It was something that I wanted her to have in the UK, but there were different things. So many different things came up. As, we all lived through it, the pandemic and everything else, and then you sort of get on the other side of that, and then there's an injury, and then we get on the other side of that, and it gets shut down. The UK does, but then, so again, she's, hasn't had an easy road either, and so I'm incredibly happy for her to have been able to, again, create a moment for her, especially with Becky, which I know meant the world to her and Becky. And happy, again, that she's now getting, once again, both her and Roxanne having this moment one-on-one, for them to have the entire spotlight on themselves and our women's division. And once again, they're going to be one of the ones that are going to go out there and kill it. And then, they're going to go back, and one of them is going to reign over the most talented ladies' locker room in all of professional wrestling.
Guys, we have time for one last one before final comments. So, James, we'll come to you.
Thank you. James Delo from Gorilla Position. You talk so much about your kids and recruiting a new generation of talents. Is there any talent in particular from AEW that you would love to have in NXT?
Well, look, I guess I always go back to I would take darn near anybody. I'll say this, I can't say specifically because I think there's so much talent there. And I never know where I'm supposed to list names. I don't know everybody's situation. The last thing I want to do is get anyone in trouble. A lot of guys that used to be at NXT are up there that I've always loved. But I don't get the opportunity to watch as much as I would like to. But I know that I love working with young talent, and especially when I get to know them and I understand, their passion, and their desire. Until I know what your desire is in this business, it's hard for me to say whether, whether you're the one that I'm going to work really hard for. I don't know. It's more, it's become so personal to me on that level. There's certainly people that I see from just a talent standpoint that you go, oh my goodness, they've got a great deal of ability. Boy, if we ever got a chance to work with them, I think we could really do something special with them. I'll even, the person we got, Shawn Spears, he was a guy that I worked with a little bit here in NXT before he got called up and then eventually left. But I always liked him because I just always thought he was, again, a very, formidable, secure, professional dude that could give you, anything you asked for. And so I'll say this. We enjoy working with darn near anybody and trying to make them better than whatever they were doing before, whether it's coming out of college or with you were with another promotion. I do know that if you'll give us at NXT the opportunity to work with you, I think we can get you at least closer, a hell of a lot closer to your goals and what you want to accomplish out of this business than anybody else, because that's what we do, and we work really hard at doing that. So we're more than happy, whether it's AEW, whether it's Japan, TNA, go around the globe. I'm really excited about NXT having the opportunity to make anybody's career better than what it is they're currently doing, and allow them to have the opportunity to enjoy weekends like the one we're about to have.
Amazing, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, everyone. Let's pass back to Shawn for any final comments ahead of the show.
Look, I don't know that I have any. Just looking forward to again, an incredible show this weekend. I don't know. Always, again, I thank you guys for doing this for us. I thank you again, whether it's good, bad, or down the middle, all of the help with promoting NXT and supporting us. Look, I know everybody in this room, for one reason or another, is a wrestling fan at some point. And I don't know, none of this stuff works without all of us, whether we agree with each other or we don't. I don't know, none of that stuff has ever really bothered me too much. Everybody's got a different opinion, they got different things they like and they don't like. We try to do our best to make it enjoyable for everybody. The guys that I used to run around with, we always did this stuff and we just wanted people to enjoy it and have fun while we were doing it. And that's what we continue to do in NXT. The people that I run around with that work with me are the same people that I don't know, I spend my off time with. You know what I mean? If it isn't my wife, it's poor Johnny Russo who's got to, spend time with me and put up with me and babysit me and, get hit by bullets and shrapnel. The poor guy needs a breast of Kevlar, for heaven's sakes, to, with many buses he's got thrown under. But again, just, I don't know. I love weekends like this. Appreciate y'all helping us out. Saturday, again, Stand and Deliver is going to be a historic moment, I guess, when everything's said and done. I want the focus to be on, again, the young men and women in NXT. They're going to be the ones that are going to kick off WrestleMania weekend officially. They're going to do it with style. They're going to do it their way. And they're going to make sure, again, that even though the big ones, the big heavy guns are coming out, you know what I mean, on Saturday night and Sunday night. But the future starts tomorrow afternoon. And it starts with NXT and the young men and women that are going to, kick this weekend off and give everybody something to remember because it's going to be historic. Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you so much for watching this video, and make sure to subscribe for more videos of your favorite fighters over here on Fight Up TV, and give us a follow online as well at Fight Up TV on Twitter and on Instagram. We appreciate it, guys.